Hello. Sorry if I don't sound too well. Right, so this is going to be my live reaction. The Royal Rumble literally finished a few minutes ago. And I'm going to tell you what I think about the entire show, going from match by match. Now, from the top of my head, I didn't watch the pre-show, so I didn't see that. It was the New Age Outlaws versus the Ascension. Kind of surprised that the Ascension won, but oh well. You know, I was a bit surprised. I thought the Outlaws were going to win. Doesn't really matter. Then what else was there? You had Mizdow and The Miz versus the Usos. The Usos win. Damien Sandow is perhaps one of the most entertaining people in the company. He's just... Whether it was his Damien Sandow intelligence gimmick, or whether it's with The Miz as his stunt double, he's just very, very entertaining. He's really hit his stride, and I hope he gets something, whether it's a large paycheck this year or just something, because the guy truly deserves and has earned it, just from watching what I see. The Usos always deliver and they always perform. I think that they would benefit after WrestleMania from a revamped tag team division, and what I mean is that WWE actually signed some tag teams like the Young Bucks from New Japan and some other teams, maybe even the Dudley Boys. We'll get back to that later. Just, I think they could really use that kind of rub right now. But again, great show. Then you had the Bellas versus Natalya, Neidhart and Paige, which was kind of like, yeah, it was alright. There was something about a woman with piercings though that got my blood going, and I have to be careful because once again, a certain person might be seeing this and I will be in fear of my life because you don't want to mess with her. Anyways, the point is that match happened. Again, it was all the Bellas doing everything. Paige didn't get to tag in, I don't believe, and they won. Then we go straight to the meat and potatoes. We got the championship match, which was awesome, absolutely awesome. I respect to all three. Like, in their own ways, they all just came and it was. I was so entertained. I mean, if you saw the stuff I was tweeting on my account at BuffBinStuffed, it was just awesome watching Brock Lesnar. He's like a human version of the Red Hulk, just throwing people through the ring, across the ring, over the ring, just awesome. That combination of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman is just, it is tremendous to watch. And Cena delivered, and Seth Rollins delivered. I actually thought Seth was going to win at one point, which is really good because at least for me, you know, you created that belief that Seth could walk out, and even John could walk out with the belt. Then they did this great thing where they had to take out Lesnar, bash him in the head with the steps, put him through a table. Then they get the EMTs to come out to see how he is, and he's out. Then it's Cena and Rollins going back and forth for a while, to the point where it looks like Lesnar's going to be a non-factor in the match. And they did a good enough job making you be distracted by what was going on with Cena and Rollins, to the point where you kind of forget a bit about Lesnar. Rollins goes to the top to do his 450, and as he does it, you just see Lesnar come darting across the ring, and man, I just felt myself go whoa like that really loudly and just be like, oh my god. And then Lesnar just smashed everyone around. Great little near fall sequence with him and Seth beat him in the head with the briefcase a few times. Then he went to do the curb stomp onto the briefcase, and Lesnar F5'd him. Absolute wonderful title match. Really good. I mean, I'm going to be really sad if Brock Lesnar goes out of WWE, but I don't blame him. We may see him in the UFC, but fantastic performance from him. Fantastic performance from Seth Rollins. Fantastic performance from John Cena. Absolutely awesome. I mean, I was so entertained. Thank you, all three of you. That was just great. Now we go on to the Royal Rumble, and this is where things get very, very interesting. So you give me 1 minute. I need to quickly do this because I got a lot to say. Someone's chanting down it out there. Right, so let's get to it like this. Royal Rumble match starts. I thought it was going to be a 40-man Rumble for some reason, but it wasn't. Now, we have Mizdow, Bray Wyatt, R-Truth. Then the big surprise, first one, was Bubba Ray Dudley. Absolutely shocked because I hadn't really been hearing much about him. You know, I thought he was, you know, going to go back to TNA at some point. And he comes out in the Dudley Boys gear as Bubba Ray Dudley. And I'll tell you what, it really worked on me. It was a nice surprise Didn't expect it. It's pretty funny seeing him and R-Truth of all people do the WhatsApp drop. There was a nice chant of "We want Devon," which was quite cool. Maybe they might do something at WrestleMania. I mean, again, if Bubba is now permanently in the company or on some kind of part-time basis, I think there's some things they can do with him. Even as a solo performer, as a heel, I think he could do a lot too. I can't believe I'm saying this, I actually missed Bubba Ray Dudley, so that was something. Bray Wyatt seemed to be the man of the match with his performance. He was eliminating a lot of people, calling people out. There was a great moment when the Wyatt family were all there and together. And a good friend of mine on Twitter, Glenn, he said maybe this is going to be the Wyatt plan where they all work together, so they throw everyone out to benefit Bray and they reunite. That would have been awesome. Instead, they all fought one another. Bray threw out Rowan and Harper. And then he offered out an open invitation, I think, at that point. I thought we were going to get The Rock or something. Zack Ryder comes out, didn't know he still works in the company. Then after that, Daniel Bryan comes out, and then that is when all the energy went woof right up in the air. Everyone's doing the yes chants. Everybody's happy. Everyone gets the wish that they wanted to have, that they didn't get to have last year, and that is Daniel Bryan in the Royal Rumble. Clearly the most over guy in the Royal Rumble itself. Fans were just absolutely whoosh. The energy was there. The atmosphere was there. And then the worst thing to those fans that could have happened did happen. So Bryan is in the Rumble for a while. DDP came out as well. Just want to touch on that. Was great to see him. Always good to see DDP. But Bryan was in the Rumble. There was some energy there. Fans were excited. Rusev came out. And then the thing that happened last year happened this year. Bryan gets eliminated pretty... I don't know how long he was in it. It was maybe 10 minutes. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. He wasn't in it for very long. And then he gets thrown out by Rusev and Bray Wyatt. And then when that happened, it was like all that energy, that atmosphere just went woof, gone, out the building. And then from that point onwards, it was just... It was like the life was sucked out of the show. And it was really, really, really bad. And it reminded me so much of last year's Royal Rumble. I remember watching that with somebody actually that year, and they're not necessarily a wrestling fan. And they kept saying, look, the fans really want this Daniel Bryan person, and that the company aren't giving, is he coming out? And I said, I don't think he is. And they're like, well, why don't they listen to their audience then? Their fans want Daniel Bryan, can't they just get him out? I said, they won't do it. And they kind of gave us Daniel Bryan and then got rid of him. So it was like, yeah, here you go, and now he's back out. And then that was it. And then after that, nothing else that they sent out, the fans were going to accept. It was just like, nothing there. I think some people expected Randy Orton and he didn't come out. You didn't see him. When Roman Reigns came out, then the fans went even worse. And they just booed him. Boo! It was... Philadelphia's a tough crowd. And I actually felt bad for Roman Reigns because I don't think he deserves that reaction. I don't think that's his fault. It's not his fault that the people who write for the company are out of touch and have no idea what to do and how to really make people and how to make fans gravitate towards anyone. But unfortunately, Roman Reigns has to be on the receiving end of it. And then from that point, it just was really bad. I mean, the fans kind of woke up a little bit when Dolph Ziggler came out, but then he was eliminated very quickly. Dean Ambrose, when he was out, they kind of went back up. And then when we got to the final four, when it was Ambrose, Reigns, Show and Kane, the fans just rejected it. Absolutely rejected it. And it was like last year all over again, but even worse. Even worse. Because even then you could say, well, last year the fans at least wanted Reigns to win, but this year they did not want him to win. And it was just like... It was really... I felt really bad for him. This was supposed to be his crowning moment, and the fans wouldn't have it. Reigns is, in there with Show and Kane. They eliminate Ambrose like he's nothing. And, you've got the psychology of two giants, so they should be able to do that. Then Reigns eliminates Show and Kane. Fans reject it. Then Show and Kane beat up Roman Reigns. Fans boo even more, not because of the angle, they boo because they're not happy. Then I hear chants of "We want refunds." Then The Rock comes out, and I made a joke actually. Rock, please come out. I'll even watch Doom. I'll watch Doom if you just come out and save the show. Look, I'll even watch Tooth Fairy if you come out and save the show. The Rock came out because there was rumours that he was going to be there. I think he was there to endorse Roman Reigns and to kind of be the damage control, because you know that The Rock has that power with the people and he will lift the crowd up. And in a way that didn't work, because he came out, they cheered for him, but then they just rejected everything afterwards. Because even when Reigns threw out Rusev and Rock was there clapping with him and shaking his hands, the fans were booing. And it was supposed to be this victorious moment where now this new Phoenix has risen from the ashes of the WWE and Roman Reigns, and he's going to be the guy, and Hunter and Stephanie are like supposed to be troubled by this, and The Rock's endorsing him. And instead of having that excitement, that anticipation, that reaction, instead you had fans chanting bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And you know what? To be honest, I'm not surprised that this has happened. I wonder if this is going to get the same level of media attention it got last year with Daniel Bryan. And I think that is a part of it. Now, what do I really think about this? Because it's late, this is what I can say. Don't blame Roman Reigns. Don't blame Daniel Bryan. Don't blame The Rock. Don't blame Big Show, Kane, Dean Ambrose, or Rusev. Don't blame the performers, because they're going out doing what they have to do and what they're told to do. If you should be blaming anybody, you should be blaming Vince McMahon, and you should be blaming the people who are writing and putting together these shows. Because in my opinion, if they knew that Roman Reigns was going to be their guy, and they knew it, they know it, that they want Roman Reigns to be the guy, then they should have the foresight to know that Philadelphia, tough crowd, will probably reject anything you do with him. So between the time of the Royal Rumble and before then, it should have been up to them to have done and set out a plan to make fans gravitate towards Roman Reigns as naturally as possible, so that by the time you get to that Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, the fans have accepted it and it's not a problem. You should set up a plan where fans are as passionate toward a Roman Reigns like they are towards a Daniel Bryan, where they would be pissed off that Roman Reigns got eliminated. That's what you want to create. And again, when you're giving a guy god-awful promo material about cocking his fist up and making it rain and being faster than a speeding bullet, pew, and all of that, fans aren't going to warm to that. And suffering succotash as well. I mean, come on. It's not Roman's fault. I felt very bad for him. I felt very, very bad for him, because he's just gone out and done his job, and you know, it's not his fault that he's been poorly written and presented in a certain way. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. Very interesting. The Rock was damage control, and again, even when The Rock came out, there was that little bit of excitement, and then the fans were like, fuck this is bullshit. And I know people on Twitter are going absolutely mad, and I'll be honest with you, I do think it's bullshit. I think it's bullshit, but this is something that's gone on for years, because when you look at it, I want to say from 2003 onwards, there has been many a time where fans have naturally gravitated towards a character, and the company have said, this isn't in our plans, fuck you, we're going to do something else. And now the fans are a lot more smarter, a lot more vocal, and a lot more passionate, and they will just literally reject anything that you give them. And tonight was the case. Tonight was the case. It was what the company had planned versus what the fans wanted. And in any other form of entertainment, you give the fans what they want. The fans wanted Mark Hunt fighting for the title, they got Mark Hunt fighting for the title. The fans wanted Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and Guardians of the Galaxy #2 as films, they got that. The fans wanted Civil War as a film, they got that. WWE, the fans want something, and the fans are called stupid. So there you go. I'm going to stop. This is not over. The saga will continue. I'm going to have more to say later on. But if you haven't met me before, I'm Buff Been Stuffed. I do pro wrestling, MMA, sometimes I do comic book videos. Anything that you're interested in, let me know, I'll do it. If you haven't already, there's that lovely button just below me, or maybe it's up here. It's called subscribe. If you do it, something very magical happens apparently. So subscribe to my channel. Follow me at Twitter at Buff Been Stuffed. I have to go, and I want to know what everyone thinks of the show. How do you feel about the Royal Rumble? Did you have a good time overall? Despite what happened with Daniel Bryan, if you take that out, did you have a good time before that? Did you have a good time after that? Are you in that group of fans that was pissed off with what happened, or do you have a different way of seeing it? If you have a different way of seeing it, I really want to know what you think, because I'll be very interested to see that. Anyways, I'm gone. See you later. Peace. Goodbye.